All right, so yesterday we had the anticipated release of Dogpack 404's Part 2 video exposing MrBeast. And I got to be honest with you guys, in my personal opinion, it wasn't as well edited and might not get as many views as the first one or whatever. But I think that this one is just as, if not more, damaging than the first one because of the very serious accusations that are being made in the video. So in the first one, obviously, he focused on MrBeast being a fraud, faking videos, putting CGI in different places, certain things with employees, illegal lotteries. This particular interview didn't really have a lot of edits, which is fine. And Dogpad made that very clear when he first did the video. This video actually centered around an interview that he did with a former employee named Jake Weddle. For those who don't know, Jake Weddle worked for MrBeast in 2019 as a writer. He was a writer, a little bit of a director. He would be do camera work sometimes, and he worked for MrBeast in 2019. He left in 2020. The interview was very interesting because Dogpack seems to show undeniable proof that MrBeast indeed hired a PDF file, a registered you-know-what offender, to work for him. Let's just go ahead and actually play the clip, and we'll just kind of go from there.
He'll be in videos. He'll be in thumbnails. He'll be around. And whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face can be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to... Is it more on the nose, or I don't know why they let him go because.
Okay, so that was the snippet from Dogpack's video interviewing Jake Weddle, and I'm sorry to say, there's really just it's pretty evident that this happened. I mean, that's clearly the guy. There's pictures of him on the internet with the whole sex offender thing. Matter of fact, I'll just pull it up. So this is an earlier one. I will blur out the name and all that other stuff. If you guys want to figure out who this person's name is and all the other information, you can go on Twitter and you can find it, but I'm going to blur out his name. But anyway, this is him, though. Apparently, this is the guy. And this is actually the same guy, which obviously he looks a lot more. You can clearly see he has the beard and everything. He looks a lot more like the guy that you saw in the MrBeast video that was in Dogpack's video. And yeah, apparently, allegedly, I mean, it does appear to be the same guy, but apparently this guy worked for MrBeast. And obviously that is terrible. And it's almost hard to believe, even though we obviously see it right in front of our faces. It's like, are you really that stupid? And apparently they called this guy Delaware. That was the other thing. They called him Delaware because apparently, there was this joke that he couldn't go to Delaware because of these accusations or because he's a registered you-know-what offender. So because of that, he couldn't go to Delaware. So apparently they all made this joke and said, oh, yeah, come on over here, Delaware. Like, that's just disgusting. It's so terrible. And I think we all can agree that MrBeast, the main audience, is children. Obviously, he's got adults that watch his channel too, but most of his audience is children. So I just thought that was absolutely insane. One of the other things that happened as well, I'll say that before I get to this clip that I'm about to play. Jake also said that there was a situation with this black employee, I guess, who was a comedian as well. I guess he said he was more talented than him and, he had like kids and he had a family and he really needed money or whatever. And for whatever reason, MrBeast paid him less than what he paid Jake, even though him and the black dude worked the exact same job. So that was another accusation that for whatever reason, MrBeast paid Jake to do the exact same job more than he played the black guy, which obviously he's insinuating there was some sort of racial element there with MrBeast where because Jake was white, he paid him more, and because the comedian was black, he paid him less, which, believe it or not, guys, I know, hot take, I guess, me as a black guy can tell you right now, that absolutely happens in the workplace. Absolutely. I'm not saying that is the case here with MrBeast. Obviously, that's being alleged. But yeah, in the real world, that absolutely happens. But we're not going to get into that. Obviously, this video isn't about that. Let's move on to the next thing. The other thing is that this employee is also saying, former employee is also saying that MrBeast apparently committed a war crime. Apparently, he's claiming that he was kept awake for hours during filming due to lights being left on, and he's basically calling that a war crime. Let's go ahead and check that video out.
And it got to a point where, like, they weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, can we like have like nighttime hours? You know, and they said no because it would fuck up the time lapse shots. The time lapse of what? Me sleeping or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Well, I don't know how they figured that one out. I didn't have it. You know, one of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me, saying this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off, and I'm vocalizing to people. I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend, and I go. They're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime.
So yeah, you got that part. Dogpack's video was very interesting. It basically featured this entire interview with a former MrBeast employee. I think more former MrBeast employees should come out and expose him. I know a lot of them are not because they're scared or they probably signed NDAs or they don't want to get sued, whatever. But I think the more people that come out, I think the more legitimacy it adds to this story, because when one person comes out, which is Dogpack, and everybody's just like, oh, he's crazy, he's on drugs. That's what they'll try to do. They'll try to discredit the one person who was brave enough to come out and expose the person. But once you got several people, once you got 2, 3, 4, 5, it gets much harder to discredit people. You can't say that all 5 of these people are just lying and they're on drugs and they're crazy. There's got to be some truth to some of this. And obviously this stuff is very disgusting. By the way, guys, this MrBeast controversy is getting so much publicity that even a very reputable news source called NBC News, you may have heard of them, are now covering the MrBeast story. So basically, this article kind of details, some of the stuff that happened with Chris Tyson. It also detailed the allegations about the Amazon Prime show. I guess it's called Beast Games, and the NBC News really dug deep into this, and they made an entire article about it. And it just really goes to show that the walls are really closing in on MrBeast. By the way, there's one more thing I forgot to show you guys. Apparently, there was some sort of internal email. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Drama Alert posted about it. MrBeast apparently sent a email. Here it is right here. According to Drama Alert, it says here that MrBeast's internal email leaked. He said it's confirmed, real. Now, again, this is Keemstar. This is Drama Alert, so who knows, right? But I'm going to read it anyway because it might be real. And it does look real. I will admit that. This email appears to be pretty authentic. But basically what happens is MrBeast says, Dear Team Beast, I wanted to update you on the recent concerns that have been raised online and in the press. As I mentioned in the tweet a couple of weeks ago, we've hired Quinn Emanuel, a top-tier law firm, to do a full investigation of the Ava Tyson allegations. We also asked them to expand the scope to include a full assessment of our internal culture, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, as your leader, I take full responsibility, and I am committed to continue to improve and evolve my leadership style. While I have been mostly focused on creating content, launching Feastables, building our community, and leading our philanthropic efforts, I recognize that I also need to create a culture that makes all of our employees feel safe and allows them to do their best work. So MrBeast is taking a little bit of accountability here for some of the foolishness that's going on. He says, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and CEO, we will be hiring a new chief human resources officer, chief financial officer, and general counsel. Oh, yeah, he's in full-blown damage control right here. He didn't really say much else besides that, but apparently he did send an internal email. What's interesting is he's sending internal emails. Apparently he's leaking stuff to Keemstar, like how many dislikes he got on this video. But one thing that we also know is he's also going back and hiding evidence. We have undeniable proof that he went back to videos as far as 6 years ago. He's out here like deleting comments and deleting evidence and stuff like that. And he still has not come out and directly addressed all of the accusations. I suspect that maybe he'll do it in the future, but who really knows? But either way, this controversy just continues to get worse and worse. And at the very least, if you don't want to speak about the Beast Games and the people getting injured and the stuff about the employees, fine. But when it comes to this, what offender stuff and PDF file stuff, I feel like Mr. Beast has to speak on that. That's the one thing you got to clear up. It is not a good look when you're completely silent on that. You got to clear that one up, you know? So anyway, just wanted to talk about what happened with the Mr. Beast stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll continue to give updates as I find them. And trust me, I will cover other subjects. We don't just talk about Mr. Beast on this channel. You know, we do talk about Logan Paul, a little bit of CoffeeZilla stuff. You guys know I talk about other things. At least I try to. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.